Hi, I'm Tom, and in this video I will show you how to create this simple garage floor plan in GNOME Design. GNOME Design is a 2D CAD drafting software which works with DXF file format, and it's available on Linux platform and it's in the alpha stage of development. So you can see that there's quite limited number of tools that you can use. And it's important to note that I'm recording this video at the beginning of the year 2026, so I expect there will be more features in the future. But when I first opened it, I thought to myself, what could I do with this software package? And I was able to create this simple floor plan, so I will share how I did it in this video. So as a basis of my floor plan, I will use this drawing, which is much more complex, so I will create a simplified version of this garage. So back in the design, I will create a new file, so I will click this button, and you can see that I've got a tabbed view. I can work with multiple files at once, but I will close this one and I will work within the new one. The basic interface is quite straightforward. Here you have got 2D canvas where you create your drawing. Here are tools that you can create. Here are modify tools. Here is the command line, and I've got here also options for some other settings. So I've got preferences. If I show preferences, there are only a few basic ones. What I don't like to use grid that much, so I will turn it off. And you have got also layer properties. You can work with layers, and this is how I will start my drawing by creating layers. And by default in a new drawing we have got the 0 layer and the depth points layer, and I will create a new layer by clicking this plus button. The new layer is created. And to rename it or edit, I can click these three buttons and click edit, and the layer name will be walls cut, and I just click away to confirm it. And you've got the problem is we cannot change the line type. It only works with continuous line right now. The line weight is also not yet implemented. So this is the setting of the wall. What we can change is the color, so I will double click here and change the color to black. And I will create a new layer and rename it to walls projection, and click here, and I will give it a color, a gray color. And the third layer that I will use doors and windows layer. So again, click away to confirm, and I will change the color to dark blue. So I will work with these three layers. And I want to change the walls cut to active layers because this is the first objects that I will create. So I will click these three buttons and select make layer active. So now the layer walls cut is active. So I will close the layer manager. Now if I zoom out, you can see here at this cross, here you can see the cursor position. So this is the point 0, 0 of my drawing. So I want to start here, and I first want to create this basic rectangle which is 8,400 millimeters wide and 6,200 millimeters high. So I will fire up the rectangle tool, and the software communicates through the command line. And you can see that a lot of the workflows are influenced by AutoCAD. So if you know how to work with AutoCAD, you will basically know how to work with design. So I will specify the first point, and I will not specify it by clicking but by inserting the coordinates. So I will type 0, 0, hit enter, and this places the first point at the 0, 0 point. And now the second point will be, and I forgot the dimensions, 8400 in x and 6200 in y axis. So 8400 comma 6200 and hit enter. Now I will zoom out so I can see my rectangle. So now I want to make this inner rectangle, and I know the thickness of the walls is 400 millimeters. So I will start at this point, and it's 400 millimeters in x and 400 millimeters in y axis from this corner. So I will fire up the rectangle tool again, and the first point will be 400, 400, hit enter. Now I want to place the next point here, and the second point is by default relative coordinates to the first point. So basically this would be 4,800, 4,000 minus the thickness of the wall, and the same here. So it will be 8,000 and 5,800. So 8,000, 500, 800. 5,800, hit enter, and I've got the basic shapes of the walls created. So I will zoom in a bit. And now I will continue with creating these cut lines, and they are 400 millimeters long, and this one is 1,500 millimeters from this corner. So what I can use is I will start the line tool, and if I click here, by default, I have got polar tracking turned on, so if I move my mouse in this direction, it snaps to the orthogonal angle. Now I can use that I'm pointing the direction with my mouse, and if I type in 400 and hit enter, it created this line 400 millimeters long in the direction that I was pointing with my mouse. So you can also know this technique from AutoCAD. And now I will hit escape to escape the tool, and I've got this line created, and I can actually select it and move it. So I will use the move tool, click where I want to grab the line, click where I want to place it. So I will place it here at first. And now if I want to select it again and move it again, I can either move my mouse like so, and then sometimes the line pops up, or I can use the box selection. So drag my mouse from left to right like so, and it selects the objects which are inside of the selection box. Now I will use again the move tool, click here, point my mouse in this direction and type in 1,500, and so this line is created. Now I want to create this line, which is 1,200 millimeters from this one. So I will select this one and use the copy tool. So I will fire up the copy tool, grab it, let's say by the midpoint, point my mouse in this direction and type in 1,200, and the copy is created. Now I can continue with this line. It's 1,500 millimeters. Unfortunately, there's no offset tool, so I can only copy it like this, and then I will copy the last one, which will be again 1,200 millimeters. And I will use the same technique to create these lines. So let me fire up the line tool. I will start here, I clicked away. So to exit the tool, I will hit the escape key and fire up the tool again, and you can see there are shortcuts like L for line, so I can use the L shortcut and hit enter to start the line. Select the first point, point my mouse in this direction and type in 400, hit escape to exit the tool. Now I will click here to select the line, and again use the move tool to move it 2,500 millimeters in this direction. And now again, I will use the copy tool, and it's the same 1200. Now I will use the same techniques here. So the first one is 550. So again, the line tool, click here, point my mouse here, hit escape, then select the line and move it 550. Now select it, copy, click here, and it's 2400. And now again, select it, copy, and this one is 300. So the offset is basically 300, and now again 2400. I know it's symmetrical. And now let's continue here. So this will be the same. So I can actually select this line, I do multiple selection by just clicking these objects, and to deselect objects I hit escape. So I can select these two lines. Now I will use again the copy tool, but this is a bit complicated because there's no object snap tracking implemented yet. So I will snap to this point and move them here, and now or copy them there, hit escape because I selected this one. I will cross select these two lines and move them to the bottom by 400 millimeters. Now I want to create this opening, and it has got a more complex shape, but I will start here. So again, I will use the same technique. It's from this corner 3150 millimeters. So I'll fire up the line tool, click here, and this line will be in this direction, 250 millimeters. Hit escape, select the line, and now move it to the left 3150. Was it? Or yep, that's okay. And now I will follow up by snapping here, clicking there, pointing my mouse this direction, type in 50, and then point my mouse this direction and type in 150 and hit escape to finish this. Now I will copy this line again in this direction, 800 millimeters, that's the width of the door. And now I will finish up by clicking here, typing 50, and type in here and type in 250. So I've got these created. Now what's left from the walls, I will create just this one interior wall. I will not create this toilet here. So this one is 1550 from this wall. So again, I will use this technique that I will create the line here at first, hit escape to select the line. Again, if sometimes it works that you hover your mouse and it selects the bottom one, but if it does not, I will use the box selection tool and I select only the line, not the rectangle, and I will move it 1550, and then I will select this one and copy it this direction 150. So we've got this created. So now we've got these walls created, and I want to cut off these spaces for the windows and doors. So I still have got to create these lines. So again, I will create this one here, select it and move it 1000 millimeters to the bottom, and then the width of the door is 800 millimeters again. Now I want to cut away these parts of these lines. So we've got the trim and extend tools here, and here I can select this and this line. Now fire up the trim tool and click on this part of the line, and it trims the line here. I also wanted to use this same technique here, and it actually sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. So, it's an alpha software, so you sometimes don't know. but I will escape to end the tool. And if I want to do the same technique here, so I select these two lines as a cutting lines and fire up the trim tool, and I want to trim away this object. It doesn't trim away because trimming rectangles is probably not yet supported. So what I have to do is I have to actually redraw these parts of the line, and then I will delete these rectangles. So I will fire up the line tool, start here, click here, hit escape, and then start line tool again, click here, and I'm basically redrawing the lines. So I will do it here, hit escape, and what's nice, and it's the same as in AutoCAD, if I hit enter, the last used command is started up again, so I don't have to always click on the line or start the line tool. I can just use enter command to start the line tool again. So basically I'm hitting enter, that starts the line, click here, hit enter to end the command, and hit enter to start the line again. Now I can actually select this rectangle and delete it, and select this rectangle and delete it. And I will continue by doing these lines. So click here, hit enter again to start the line again. So you can see that using the enter to repeat the last used command is quite effective workflow. So we have got the basics, the cut lines are created, and now we want to create these projection lines in the window to represent the window sills basically. So I want to change the active layer, and you can see what happened to me. Sometimes changing the name of the layer doesn't stick, so I will change it again. I'll edit it here, wall projection, and hit enter, and then click away. And hopefully this one, I've probably forgot to hit enter before doors and windows. Not sure if it's a bug or if I forgot to hit doors, but now I will make the walls projection layer active. So I will click here and make it current, so the new objects are created in that wall. And now I will fire up the line tool and create these lines, hit enter again to repeat the command, and I will create these window sills like so. So this is quite straightforward. And now I will be doing the doors and windows. So I will open up layers and change the doors and windows layer as an active layer. Let's make these window symbols, and I will simplify it by just making them here in the middle, and again here in the middle. Now I can select these two objects and copy it to the bottom with 100 units thickness, and I will do the same here and copy it to the up with 100 millimeter thickness. And I will also use the lines here, 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 and here. Oh, and also these garage doors. And yep, okay. And then select these two again and copy it to the left by 100 units. So these are the basics. And also for the doors, now we will create door leaves. So first I will create this line and then the arc. So I will fire up the line tool and create this 800 millimeter unit long line, and I will do the same here. And now I will use the arc tool which communicates with me through the command line. So first I will set up specify the center point, so it will be here. Now the start point, it's here, and then the end point, it's here. So this is how you create arcs. You have to be careful because it always creates the arc in the counterclockwise. So if I would specify the center of the arc here, start here, and then I would want to end here, it creates the arc like this. So now I have to escape from the command, fire it up again, and you have to be careful that the start point is here and the end point is here, because it's creating it counterclockwise like so. And I see that I forgot to create a window here, the window pane, so I will again use the same techniques that I did before, like so. Okay, so now what's left for me to do is these text objects. So I will fire up the text tool, and it's asking me to specify the start point. I will click here. Now it's asking me to specify the height, so I will type in I will backspace this one and type in 300, as in 300 millimeters. The rotation angle, this angle is 0, so I will just hit enter to confirm the 0 and specify the text. It's 101 and hit enter, and the text is created. But I see that I created it on the layer walls and windows. So I will actually create a new layer, and the layer will be text. Hit enter again to confirm it, and the color will be green. And now you can actually see how to move objects from one layer to another. I will select the object, and I've got option to see the preferences of the object. Oh, sorry, that was the preferences of the properties of the objects. So I will select this one, and it's a floating windows. It gives me information about the properties of the selected objects. So you can see you have got some options with the text, and here is the layer of the object. And if I change it to text, I don't even have to close the properties. It's a floating window. If I click here and hit escape, you can see that it changed the layer of the object. And now I will just make sure that I will select the text as the active layer or current layer. And now I will actually copy this one and copy it here like so, and select it. And to change the text, I will change the string. So I will change it to garage, hit enter, and now I can also still move it like so. And then I can select both of these and copy them up here and change this one to 102, hit enter, and select this one and hit escape to deselect everything. Select this one and change it to storage, and it actually fits, but I could change the rotation if it didn't fit, but I would have to hit escape and change the rotation also here. And I would now have to escape and have to select this text. And I've got problems selecting it by clicking on it, so I will use the cross selection and use the move tool and move it. And you can see if I move it, it rotates. So basically, if I hit Ctrl Z, there's undo is not yet implemented, which it's nice of the developer to inform us about this. So I screw this up, so I will actually delete the object. So I will cross select it, delete it, and copy this one, select it, copy it like Oh, I will actually have to copy this one because the rotated text is kind of moved in a different way, and change the text to storage. Hit enter, click away. Now let's make sure that the base point is placed correctly, so somewhere here. Now we can set the rotation to 90, hit enter, and well, yeah, this fixed. So you can see that that there are still a lot of limitation in this version of GNOME Design as of beginning of 2026. But now we've got our basic floor plan finished, so we can save the file, and I will name it tutorial and save it as DXF. And we can check that if I open the file in LibreCAD or any other DWG editor, I will open the tutorial file. You can see that it's a standard DXF file that can be opened in any other DWG editor. So this is it about the GNOME Design software. It's in its alpha stage, and you can see that there are lots of limitations, but the tools that are here are quite easy to use if you are used to the AutoCAD way of drafting. Now the easiest way to install GNOME Design is through FlatHub, and the link to the FlatHub page is in the description box of this video. And if we look at the development status of the project, you can see that it's being actively developed, but with the points of the time when the development is not there. It's mainly developed by, I think, one developer, at least at the beginning of the year 2026, but there are several people who have contributed. So I would say it's a hobby project, but I was quite surprised by the user-friendly interface and that the tools that are implemented work quite well. So it's a nice project. So it has some promise into the future. I think the only open source alternative is LibreCAD, which is much more feature rich, but the workflows are quite different from AutoCAD, whereas GNOME Design has its workflow cues clearly from AutoCAD, which is nice for people who have been using AutoCAD for years, so you can jump straight into GNOME Design. So this is it from this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.